Saquon Barkley was asked this week what the motivation is for the New York Giants the rest of the season, and his quote was simple. He said, "We're in this MFer." And he's 100% right. If you look at the playoff prediction odds for the New York Giants, if they win the rest of their games this season, they have an 88% chance to make the playoffs. So I guess Saquon Barkley was right. We're in this MFer. And if you want the Giants to make the playoffs, I need you to hit that thumbs up icon right now. And I'm going to make a deal for all of the real ones. If we can get to 1,000 likes on today's show, we're going to start Monday Night Football's watch party here on Giants Now with a beer booth. Hit that thumbs up icon and show some love. Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're going to break down the Monday Night Football matchup where the Giants will be taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to give you my 5 keys to victory, but I first want to start with just the injury news that is surrounding this team. Dexter Lawrence has missed the past couple of games due to a hamstring injury, and it sounds like he could be getting closer and closer to a return. Dexter Lawrence is officially questionable for Monday Night Football, and Brian Daboll was asked, do you think Dexter Lawrence is going to play? And he said, I'm hopeful. He did some individual stuff yesterday, said this on Saturday, so he was talking about on Friday, and then he did team periods, which was a good thing to see. And at this point in the season, I just want to see the best players that play football for the New York Giants actually suit up and play football. I want to see Dexter Lawrence play, and I want to see Darren Waller come back as soon as next week, though. But I just want to see Dexter play because he is a damn good football player, and he's so fun to watch. It's easy to watch a game and appreciate a cornerback's skill, or a quarterback, or a running back, or a wide receiver, or a tight end. But you really got to love football if you get excited like I do about the trench work. And Dexter Lawrence, in my opinion, is the best interior defensive lineman in the league right now. In 11 games this season, he's got 41 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 17 QB hits, and 4 sacks. And when you just think about a nose tackle, putting up the type of production that he does week in and week out, it's really remarkable, and I'm glad he's a part of this team, and he's going to be a part of this franchise for the foreseeable future. Show Dexter Lawrence some love, though. I missed watching him play last week, and I can't wait to see him hopefully get out there this week. And maybe if we get a lot of 97s in the comment section, he might actually play. Show him some love for the good old sexy Dexy. From good news to bad news. Right tackle, second-year player out of Alabama, top 10 pick, Evan Neal is going to be out on Monday night against the Green Bay Packers. This will be his 4th straight missed game due to an ankle injury, and he has missed 6 of the last 7 games. And while I am upset that he's hurt, the reason I'm most upset is because Evan Neal is missing valuable reps. When you talk about a player that had the type of season he did his rookie year, the hope was in the second season in the NFL, he was going to take a leap. He was going to get better and improve on all of the things that have held him back. And I just still feel like I don't know who the player Evan Neal is. He doesn't play that often, missed 6 games out of the last 7. And when he's played, to be nice, he hasn't been good. So you haven't been good and you haven't been available. I'm officially concerned about the right tackle position going forward, and I'll say it again after I've said it 100 times. Evan Neal cannot be the only investment this football team has at the right tackle position going into next season. Because if it is, you might just be in the same similar situation where you're having to depend on backup after backup. Other players that are on the injury report for the Giants, the only player that has been officially ruled out is Evan Neal. These are the other 5 guys on the injury report. They are all questionable for this NFC showdown. Tight end Daniel Bellinger, dealing with a little bit of an illness, not feeling too well. I believe he's going to get those electrolytes in him, and he's going to be ready to rock and roll on Monday night. Parris Campbell was a late addition to the practice squad. He didn't injury report, excuse me. He didn't really hear anything through the week about Parris Campbell or if he was going to be hurt, or he didn't hear about an injury. But now he's dealing with a little bit of a knee. Dexter Lawrence, we talked about his hamstring. Another defensive tackle dealing with a hamstring is Ashawn Robinson. And Isaiah Simmons, also dealing with an ankle injury. I'd like to see all these guys out there. I wouldn't be shocked if they're all out there. But I do know this. If any more news or updates come between now and kickoff on Monday Night Football, we're going to get you guys a video. Because when Giants news comes out, we get a video for you. And we're going to be live on the channel an hour before kickoff. and I want to see you there. So subscribe and turn the notifications on and join us for the #1 way to watch a live Giants game with the best Giants fans in the world. Giants Now by Chat Sports. Subscribe, turn your notifications on, and let's party together on Monday Night Football. All right, I just want to close out today's show with 5 keys to victory for the Giants. We showed you at the top of the show. If somehow Big Blue wins the rest of their games, they have almost a 90% chance to make the playoffs. So let's approach this game like a must-win. What am I doing in a must-win? I'm leaning on my best player, and the best offensive player on this team right now is Saquon Barkley. The Giants need to feed 26 early and often. Why? Because he's a good football player. 2, you're playing against the Green Bay Packers defense that has been awful against the run. They are giving up 136.3 rushing yards per game. That is the 30th ranked run defense in the National Football League. They also miss a lot of tackles. Here at Chat Sports, we also have a partnership with Amazon. One of my Amazon teams to cover outside of the Giants is always the Packers. And I feel like I'm always saying it. They have a bad run defense, and they miss a lot of tackles. And those 2 things should equal a huge game for Saquon Barkley. But for Barkley to have a big game, he needs to have the opportunity. He needs to be given the football. And plain and simple, the Giants have not given Saquon Barkley the football enough over the last 4 games. The fact that Tommy DeVito, an undrafted free agent quarterback, I know you're on a 2-game winning streak, so I don't want to criticize it too much, but 13.8 carries per game over the last 4 contests for Saquon Barkley is simply not enough. Feed him early, feed him often, and let's see if 26 can win this game for the Giants on prime time. I got 4 other keys to victory to get to, but first, you need to get hooked up with this key to victory. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use the promo code CLNS, and start playing the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America. It's daily fantasy made easy. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you just choose more or less on their projected stat line that Prize Picks offers. On Monday night, I'm going to make a lineup between the Giants and the Packers game, and this is going to be my play right here. I'm going to go with more rushing attempts for Saquon Barkley. They have it set at 15.5. I think he's going to be a big part of this offense. I also think Jaden Reed, young wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, is going to have a big game with a guy like Christian Watson out. And as you guys know, I am just a massive fan of Jamie Gillen. I don't think he's going to land 2 punts inside the 20-yard line, so I'm going to go with less for that. I think that's free money, but you know what? Best thing about Prize Picks is you can either roll with my picks or you can fade my picks or just make your own picks. Just do it with Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. And because producer Tex loves you so much, he's going to put all this information and make it clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Big shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring Giants Now by Chat Sports. Something else I want to see in the game on Monday night against the Packers is for Tommy DeVito to keep just kind of doing what he's doing. He's living with the mindset right now of taking shots downfield. And as a fan, I respect that. And if you're going to throw the ball downfield, look for #13 wearing blue, because this guy, the last time he was on the football field, had his best game of his NFL career. 5 catches against the New England Patriots, 109 yards, averaging almost 22 yards per catch. He was named the NFC Rookie of the Week for his performance against New England back in Week 12. And I want to see Tommy DeVito let it loose again. Like I love to say, if 13 is even, he is leaving. All you have to do is throw the ball out there. He's going to run up under it. I want to see number 13 on Monday Night Football. Let America know and let everybody watching know that he's the real deal, and the Giants got to steal in the 3rd round of the 2023 NFL Draft. To go with the point of getting the ball to Jalen Hyatt, DeVito's got to have a little bit of more protection. And I think that we've all learned something as Giants fans this year. Not all sacks are on the offensive line. That was true with Daniel Jones. That was even true with Tyrod Taylor a little bit, and as well as Tommy DeVito. DeVito needs to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. He is kind of slow to go through his progressions from read 1 to read 2 to read 3, and it's resulted in him being sacked 26 times in 4 games. Is it 100% his fault? Absolutely not. This offensive line, I don't need to tell you, is not all that good. But DeVito can help himself out as well as the offensive line, because if you're getting sacked 26 times every 4 games, unless you're Superman, you're going to get hurt. That is not a sustainable way to play football. You are not supposed to be hit that many times in the pocket playing the QB position, and I don't want to see Tommy DeVito get hurt. He needs to take care of himself a little bit more, and he needs the O-line to help him out a little bit more. If both those guys, those people, the offensive line and DeVito just improve a little bit on taking sacks, it may just be 22 sacks every 4 games instead of 26. On the defensive side of the ball, if the Giants are going to beat the Packers, they have to find a way to force Jordan Love into some mistakes that he hasn't made over the past couple of weeks. Jordan Love early in the season was really good. And there was a stretch for Green Bay, like the Giants, that they did not score 20-plus points for 7 straight games. But now that offense is clicking, and I'm calling on Wink Martindale to draw up hocus pocus, a little Martindale magic, and make it tough for Jordan Love out there. You look at what he's done throughout the year, and you got to tip your hat to the guy. He's had a heck of a season, completing 61+% of his passes, almost already 3,000 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a QB rating of north of 90 in his first season, where he was just the go-to guy and the signal caller for an organization in this league. He's done a damn good job. I think Giants fans are going to be a little bit impressed and shocked of how good he actually is. He's got a really strong arm. He can fire from all platforms. He can make every throw on the field, and he's an underrated athlete. I'm going to be very interested to see, will Martindale bring in the blitz, or will he force Love to try to throw into some heavily contested zone coverage and man coverages? It's going to be interesting, but I'm excited to see Jordan Love go up against a seasoned veteran DC like Wink Martindale. Last thing, and this is the most important thing, this is a playoff game for the New York Football Giants. Saquon Barkley said this week, we are still in this MFer. Well, if you believe that and you're just not talking for clicks here, Saquon Barkley, it's a playoff game. Play like it, because if you lose, your season's over. You're going to Cancun in January. But if you win, maybe we could actually start talking about a potential playoff picture. We showed you at the top of the show. If the Giants can somehow beat the Packers, and then they could beat the Eagles, and then they could beat the Saints, and they could beat the Rams, and then they could beat the Eagles again, you have an 88% chance to make the playoffs. Is it going to be really hard to beat the Eagles twice? Yeah. But are they a beatable team? Absolutely. It took them the last possession 2 times almost this year against the Washington Commanders for them to pull out those wins. Anything is possible in the National Football League. Giants are riding high. Their confidence is all at an all-time high right now. They're on a 2-game winning streak. DeVito has brought juice to this team. How about you go out and stand on business this Monday night, Tommy DeVito? Because I'll tell you this. If you win a primetime game or the Giants on Monday Night Football, if you thought the Tommy DeVito bananas was crazy before, man, oh man, is it going to be crazy. If you want the Giants to make the playoffs and you want to beat the Packers, like this video. If you haven't yet, what are you doing? Show some love. I'm trying to get weird on Monday night. Let's start with a beer boot. Let's get to 1,000 likes. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's go Big Blue.